Okay, we are recording. All right, so I'm actually going to start this by having you pay attention to the projector. And this won't be on camera except for my voice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk us through the syllabus very quickly because I don't want to take too much time doing that. I'm going to make sure everyone knows where to go to get the information for the class. So let me take you to Northwest Vista's main website, maybe. All right, so assuming that you can get here, you go to this login to ACES, and then you log in here. If you don't know your login information, I believe you can get your information right here. And let me see if I can remember this password. Oh. How many of you know how to do this already? Show of hands. Okay. Anyone have no idea? It's okay, just show me your hands now if you have not been there. So we're good? All right, good. Go to courses. When you all go in, does it still say fall 2015 and you have to drop down? They said they were going to fix that last semester. They never did. So make sure you pick that. So I'm teaching college algebra, this class, Cal 1, Cal 2, Cal 3. But this is my only summer 2 class. Those other 3 are all online classes. Okay, so this is our main shell here, and you all familiar with the inbox? If I send an email to the class, it'll appear over here on the left side, and that's where we communicate. All right. If you want to send me a message saying I'm not going to be in class, hey, I'm going to miss the test, something needs to come officially through here. It cannot come from your Hotmail account, your Gmail account. It's the only thing that's considered official. All right. So you just go in here, compose a message. I'm not going to show you all of this, but find your course, select me out of the list of, it'll say instructors, and then find me on there and click and send me your message. All right? Okay, so back to the course. And I think I'm going to switch this to a student view so it'll look like it looks like for you. Okay, it should look like that when you're in there, except for this pink border, it won't be there. All right, so this is our main home page. We have the course syllabus. We have what I'm calling the class packet, the schedule, the videos, what that camera's recording will be here, and then file. So let me go through these. We'll start with the course syllabus. And my name is Robert DiGiovanni. You can call me anything respectable. Just don't call me Bob or Bobby. I don't go by Bob or Bobby. Robert's fine. Mr. D's fine. Whatever you're comfortable with. I am in my office, okay, which is in JH 1110. That's the first floor of this building. It's hard to get to the first floor, right? Which is kind of why I chose the office I chose. You have to go out into that elevator shaft all the way down and then back in. All right. And then you go find that room, and that's where I'll be. All right. Now, I will be in that office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So every day before your class from 11 to 12:30. And then I'll come up here. So I'm there for about an hour and a half before class. Unfortunately, after class, if you want to meet with me afterward, we just have to make an appointment. All right. I know that doesn't work for everybody, but hopefully enough of you will take advantage of that. Office hours, if you don't know what those are times I say I'm going to be there that you can come in and ask questions. If you want to sit down and go over some homework problems, you know, if you're getting ready for the test and you want to ask me anything, that's the time, all right? I also provide you my cell phone number. Now, that's not the official way to communicate with me, right? It's all through Canvas, but if it's something quick that you just have a quick question on, you can call me, you can text me. I just ask that if you text me, you let me know who you are in the text. All right, so just say, this is so-and-so from Math 1314, and that should be enough for me to identify you. I don't really have a time where I say don't text me here or don't call me. I mean, 24 hours a day, but if I don't respond, it's just give me some time. And especially on the text. I think we all probably share this problem. Someone texts you, you look at it, and you forget about it later. That only happens to me, right? So as far as I know, there's not a way on my phone easily to like flag a text to go back as unread, right? You can't like do an unread on a text. If you can do it, let me know because I need to figure that out. So sometimes I'll read a text and then I just forget about it and that's it. So sorry. All right, what else up here? We meet from 12:40 to 2:40. It's a 2-hour time slot here. We'll see how things go. We might do like a 5-10 minute break in the middle. We'll just see how you all feel, all right? We meet all the way, 5 weeks, right? It's a 5-week course. So we're gonna meet between now and August 11th. The required materials, did anyone get the materials for the class? Do you have them with you? What does it look like? That's it? Okay, so may I? Oh, wow, you have both of them, yes. So you're supposed to get this packet, which was at the bookstore. How much was this? $8. It's going to set you back. This? 30.
I spent $10 on it. I bought it on offer.
Okay, yeah, don't spend $30 on this. I don't think.
Yeah, it's like 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, all right. As long as you can figure out how to use it. I don't care if you have a fancier calculator. You just need to have a calculator that does everything this one does. And also, when I'm helping people out with like the proper keystrokes on the calculator, I'll be going off of this. So if you need help, I'll have to come around and help. All right? So those are the two required things for the class. Hopefully that won't set you back too much. Now on the packet, you do not have to buy the packet. If you want to print it yourself, then it's online. Okay, it's posted up there. And they should be the same, but there's no guarantee. That was made a long time ago, and the one I have might be a little bit more current. It might have some typo fixes, but we'll just have to see. That's the only thing you need. Okay, that packet has the problems I'm going to do in class. Any notes are all there, and then your homework assignments are in that packet. So every day I'll go through material, and then at the end of that section there's homework problems. When I say, hey, go home, make sure you do your homework, I'm referring to the homework problems in the packet. Right? Don't try and do the homework, don't try and do your work in the packet. There's not enough space for you to do that. On separate paper, do all your homework. All right? All right, course objectives. Maybe I should have started by making sure everyone's in the right class. There are two college algebras. There's Math 1314, which is this course, and there's Math 1414. Okay, let me tell you what 1414 is first. 1414 is college algebra for students who are going to go on and take pre-calculus and then possibly go into Calculus 1 and Calculus 2. So we call that our STEM tracks, science, technology, engineering, mathematics majors. If you need to take pre-cal, you are in the wrong class. So, anybody think they're in the wrong class? Sure? You do not want to have to do this whole thing and then wind up having to take 1414. We're all comfortable? All right. No questions on that? All right, so you can read this about the objectives, the outcomes, and I'll just get down to the grade. So there's, this is a true college level math class, which means that there's no IP. If you took any developmental math courses, there is a grade called an IP, which is like an in-progress grade. It's basically a student who doesn't pass, but they just kind of tell them nicely that you didn't pass, so they give you an IP. We don't have that here. I only have, at the end of the semester, the option of A, B, C, D, and F, and that's it. So we're going to go standard grading scales, 90 to 100 A, 80 to 90 B, so on and so forth. And I do round up, okay, so don't worry about that. Students inevitably will ask me about a grade called an I. Are you familiar with an I? Yes? Okay, so an I is called an incomplete, and it is a very difficult grade to actually get. Let me give you an example of something that would warrant an I. You're on the way to the final exam. You're passing the class. You're just come and take the final. You're passing the class. You get into a car accident. You break your leg. You can't come to the final. All right? Then we give you an I. Then we give you 120 days to take that final, something like that. It has to be signed off by me, has to be signed off by the chair of the department, has to be signed off by the vice president of the college. It's very difficult to get all three people to sign off on it if you just didn't show up, or just you were failing and you didn't drop in time. It's not going to happen. So if you don't want to be in this class, if you don't like the pace of the class, it's too fast, whatever, you don't like me, whatever it is, you need to just withdraw from the course, all right? All right, so how will I quantify your grade? We're going to do quizzes and homework. Maybe I can make this a little bit bigger. Quizzes and homework, 15% of the grade. So my idea there is that you're going to have homework every day, right, out of your packet. You're going to write that homework down. I want you to bring that with you every class for the entire semester. So the homework you do tonight, you're going to bring that 5 days from now, 10 days from now. And at random points, I may just do like a homework check. And I'm going to go around the room while you're doing classwork, and I'm just going to check grades off. Just that you've shown effort, okay? That I can see that you've done it. I'm not going to be like, you skipped that one, it's wrong. You get a 0. It's an effort thing, all right? So if you're doing your homework, putting in the honest effort to it, that's an easy grade. Quizzes may be, you may have one every day, you may have 2 a day. They could be, everyone take everything off your desk, everyone's going to do their own quiz. It could be a group quiz. It could be an attendance grade that you showed up. That's a quiz grade, okay? Like if I start seeing that people are starting to not show up, I'll just give a quiz that day on attendance, and then you start taking 0s for that, all right? Questions on that? Exams, you're going to have a total of 4 exams. 3 of them are worth 20%. The final exam is worth 25%. And each of those exams should be pretty self-contained. So like exam 1 obviously will cover everything that we do before that exam. Exam 2 should cover everything after exam 1 up to exam 2. Exam 3 is everything between exam 2 and exam 3. Make sense? The final is going to have kind of a blend of all of them. It's cumulative, I guess you could say, because our final is actually 2 days after exam 3. So there's not a lot of material that I could separate onto the final. Attendance. So because this is a summer course, you can miss a maximum of 2 classes. All right, 2 unexcused absences. That means you missed class, you don't have to tell me why, you just weren't here. No big deal. All right, you go watch the video and all's good, right? Now, if you have excused absences, that's something else, but that we have to have documentation. I was doctor appointment, whatever it is, right? If you stop attending class for any reason, you need to contact me to be officially withdrawn from the course. So if you just decide, after today, I'm not going back, right? Then you do not assume that I will just drop you from the course. You have to go in there and actually withdraw yourself, all right? If you don't drop yourself or you don't withdraw and just trust that I'm going to do your paperwork for you, then you're going to wind up with an F at the end of the semester. That's a lesson you should learn in college, right? If you enroll in a course, don't want to go anymore, you have to unenroll. If not, the professor's just going to give you a big fat F at the end. You don't want that on your transcript. On the other hand, if you do miss more than 2 classes, I may drop you. It's my prerogative then. So even if you've got A's on all your exams and you miss 3 classes, I can still drop you from the course for non-participation. With me? 6 drop rule. This is a Texas law about, boy, it happened back in 2007. So anyone know what that law is about? 6 drop rule? Yeah, and in Texas, if you're in a public institution, that means taxpayers are funding the institution, which this is, then you can only drop 6 courses in your entire undergraduate career. Reason? People were getting financial aid, going to school, and not going to school, and abusing the system. So you basically get six drops, and that's it. After that, you have to start paying out-of-state tuition. So just be aware of that going into your college courses. You're allowed to drop courses, but there's a counter, and they're keeping track of how many you've dropped. All right, now tutoring. If at any point in this summer you need help, of course I'm available in my office. You can call me, whatever. But right across the hall is a tutoring lab. They've got pretty good hours. Like they're open 8 a.m. to like 9 p.m. or something. They've got good hours. Just go over there, room 316, and you should be able to go in there and get some help, all right? And I believe every tutor in there should be able to help you with this material. All right, SOBI statement. Now, this is a lot of information right here. So let me just kind of summarize what I think the SOBI statement is. We just have to pay attention, all right, to each other, to what's going on, things that are happening in the classroom, things that are happening outside the classroom in the hallways, right? I mean, yes, this is a crazy world we live in, right? So we want to pay attention to each other, and if we see anything unusual that makes you feel uncomfortable, to not just sit there and not say anything. You know, speak out, talk to me, talk to someone in the math department, all right? If someone's making you feel uncomfortable. Yes? Okay. For the past, I've been teaching for a long time, and for the probably past 10 to 12 years, on the first day of class, I always talk about active shooters. And it used to, like 8 years ago, it used to be like my students were like, dude, this guy is weird. Like he's sitting there talking about what do you do if someone's like shooting up the building? And now it's like I talk about, it's like, it like bothers people because it's so real. So look. Oh yes, okay. That is not an exit. This is an exit, all right? There's an awning right here. It's probably about 12 feet, but it's a survivable jump. And from there, you could probably survive the next jump too. So that is an exit. And these chairs would be going through those windows first, right? So that is an option. The other option is that door, right? So there's a saying, it's something like luck is, I'm going to get this wrong, but like luck is preparation meets opportunity. Have you ever heard that before? Yeah, something like that. So we just don't want to be completely ignorant to what our options are should we ever have to face something like that. All right? But this is 30 feet straight down concrete, okay? We got lucky. There's some rooms in this building that are, you know, there's no awning there. It's behavior policy. All right, so people do not like this part of my syllabus. I don't have any tolerance for cell phones. I understand that it's difficult for 2 hours out of a 24-hour day. That's 1/12 of the day, right? 1/12. That you are being asked to put it away and just disconnect from it, all right? I don't want to see cell phones out. I don't want you to be texting underneath the table. You know, I want everything put away. You focused on what's going on in here. If you have an important text, you have to go update your status on some social site, whatever it is, just get up and go do it in the hallway. If you need to make a phone call, just go do it in the hallway. I just don't want it taking place in class, all right? Now the penalty for that, for texting, using your phone, or sleeping, because I don't tolerate sleeping either, is what? 10 points on your next exam for each offense. So that means exam 1's coming up. If you were to be texting in here today, I would identify who you are. I would embarrass you in front of everyone. I would ask you to leave because I'm going to count you absent for the day, and I would go in and I would dock you 10 points off your next exam. So any volunteers to be my first victim? No?
Wouldn't we be dropped from the course because if we're absent on the first day?
Technically, let's try that. Someone take out their phone. No, I wouldn't do that. I would let you come back. Okay, so I guess I just want you to pay attention. It's never really ever been the student that knows everything that's on the phone. It's always the student that can't seem to focus and hates math and just would rather be everywhere else, but signed up for this class and they're here. So I want it all put away. You think you can handle that? If you can't, if you know right now, look, I'm paying to go to college and I should be able to have my phone out, we can get you transferred into another class. No? I like that argument too, like I'm paying to be here, but they still let me make the rules for my class, so that's my rule. I think that they'll take that away from me one day. All right, so this is our layout. Now this is our schedule. I have to put a schedule in the syllabus, but this is not the one I want you to use because it's not very user-friendly. So if we close this syllabus, there's a bunch of stuff at the end that I have no control over. The college automatically puts that in there, so I will not read through that. All right, so the schedule here, you can print this out. I just updated this morning, so if you were looking at it yesterday, it's been modified. It's a little bit easier to read if you print it. I recommend you just print it out and put it in put it where you're going to do all your homework or something. Tape it to the front of the folder. I have mine right here on this little manila folder here. So that's just the layout. This is the plan, okay? It's a tentative schedule, which means that it could change. We could fall behind. We could get ahead. This is what I'm going to shoot for, all right? So it's broken down by days. Today is Monday, the 11th. We are going to go over the syllabus, which we're doing. We're going to talk about fractions and expressions, order of operations, and we're going to review linear equations. This corresponds to pages 5 through 8 and 9 through 12 in that packet. That's what I'm going to cover. And so when you get to page 12, I believe page 13 has the homework for those two, or for these sections, fractions and order of operations, and linear equations. And then we come in here on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. We're going to get right into the next thing, and then we get into the next thing, and then we have our first test next Tuesday. So we already have a test. It's 6 days away. Notice also that I have next Monday, we will be doing a little review. All right, so we're going to do equations of lines and applications, which is going to be a continuation of what we did this Thursday. And then whatever time is left over, we'll talk about the exam. But I would not expect like a formal handout review. Most likely what I'll do is tell you, okay, let's look back at these homework problems and let's focus on these for the test. So I'll try and kind of narrow it in a little bit for you, but I'm not going to just spoon feed you a review that's an exact copy of a test that I'm just going to change numbers on. You still have to have a general idea of what you've done for all the homework problems. But if you do your homework problems, I promise you, bless you, if you do your homework problems, I will not surprise you with anything that you don't see on homework. So I'm not going to just pull some problem that's one of my favorite problems that I never showed you. I'm not just going to pull that out and throw it on a test. All right? Sound fair? Okay. And we keep grinding away, and then we get exam 2. Exam 2, there is an entire day dedicated for reviewing for that test. Sometimes, depending on the class, sometimes what I've done in the past, and again, this is so hard to predict how things are going to go for us. I've done this before where if we have an entire day for a test, what I'll do is I'll offer you the test on this day. And you come in on this day and you take the test, and I call it a no-risk test, meaning you sit down, you take the test, and if you fail it or you just are not happy with it, you come back the next class and you take that one, and that one's your grade. All right? So it's kind of like, you know, there's a lot of problems that students have with anxiety when it comes to exams. And when I do that kind of no-risk test, you can kind of like exhale and relax and know that no matter what, you get another chance if you need one. So depending on time, we may do that for exam 2, and I believe exam 3 is set up the same way. But for the final, we all have to come in and take the final at the same day. All right, so. And the final is just the last day of class here. So there's not like finals week like there is in a fall and spring semester. There's not a special week just for finals. It's just the last day that we meet, which is August 11th. Good? Questions? All right, the class packet, again, you can download this. It's a PDF, so you can print that out. What I'm doing is I'm printing out just what I'm going to cover that day, and I'm just bringing that with me. And then I'm just going to continue to do that. For you, you can do whatever. Just make sure you bring what we're covering for the next class. Bring it with you. Because I will tell you during class, like, you know what, I'm going to do problems 1 and 5. Why don't you do 2 and 6? Y'all work in groups on 2 and 6. And if you don't have the packet, then you don't know what's going on. All right, files. Right now, the packet is in here, and then the schedule, which you could get to those already through those links. But there's a bunch of other stuff in here, miscellaneous stuff. And I'll be quite honest with you, I haven't looked through all of these. These were given to me about, 4 days ago. And I think those are just like additional things that I can throw in to the section for like additional problems. So we're nowhere near the beginning of this, page 39. So when we get to page 39, we'll open that up and take a look at it. I said the videos will be on YouTube. So when you click on that, did y'all see the link I clicked on there? Videos of class lectures. I always have students that'll email me and be like, hey, didn't you say you had videos or something like that? And I'll be like, yes. Okay, do you see where it is? They don't know where it is. Y'all see it? Yes? Just click on that. That'll take you to YouTube. And then the videos will start to appear here, and I'll have them listed like this. It'll be like day 1. It'll say day 1, and then usually like what topics we covered or something like that. The sections out of the book, or out of the packet. And that's it. No more detail on the video than that. To give you an example, let me see. This is a good example of, so like this is my Cal 2 class, day 3, 4-7, chapter 4, section 7. This might be loud. Be ready. Nope. Okay. This just gives you an idea of what the videos. Oh, that's kind of blurry. That one came out kind of blurry. Oh well, I didn't wait long enough. There we go. It's decent quality. 720p. It's good enough. You can make out what's going on. You can hear me. You'll get sick of my voice. Sure. All right. Anything else here? We have discussion board. That's a place where y'all can talk to each other. It's a public public forum between your classmates. If y'all want to go there and have any discussions, go ahead. Your grades at various points, your grades will start to appear here. All right. And then this BrainFuse online tutoring is a tutoring service that we've had at this college for about a year or 2 now. Not a single student has ever given me any feedback on that. But it's apparently someplace you go and you can connect with someone 24 hours a day that has an online whiteboard, and they can like go back and forth with you. But they are not connected directly to our college. So it's really just some person who has a master's degree in mathematics that's just waiting for someone to ask a math question somewhere. So the explanation that you would get from that may not fall all in line with the explanation I give. But it's there, okay? It's a resource. Do we have any questions? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do this. think I'll bring the packet back up. All right. I do have a sign-in sheet. So I will be taking attendance every day. And the attendance is, you should find your name and then today's date and just initial in the little box. All right? And then pass that around. Make sure you sign this every day, all right? So if you don't sign that, I'm gonna say you weren't here. If your name is not on there, let me know. So what are you all thinking about this? College algebra, math 13, 14. Y'all excited? Anyone? Okay, so how many of you really enjoy math? Yeah. How about like hate math? Anyone want to go that far? Okay, good. So you're being honest. Hate math? Strong. That's a strong feeling, right? Very negative vibes. How many of you are just like okay with math? Like, let's just do this, get this over with? Okay? All right. So here's the way I'm approaching this class, right? Many of you are not going on, right, to do more math. And so you need this course just to kind of check off a box, right? There were many courses I had to take that I did not like either, like English. And when I had to write research history, right? Stuff already happened. I don't need to know this, right? No, right? So we all in a college education have something that's going to be a hurdle for us, right? It's going to be something we don't enjoy. So this is for a lot of you, that course. And I know that. You know, I know that you're not going to be building a bridge I'm going to be driving on in 10 years, right? Hopefully, right? So if I were to approach this in the sense of you're all going to become engineers, my standards would be a lot higher than they are going to be in this class. I want every one of you to succeed, all right? I want you to learn, because if you hate math, I want to try and make it at least a little bit enjoyable to you, right? Just a little bit. And the biggest thing I expect from you is effort, okay? So if you try and you fail, that to me means more than not trying and failing. So I will hopefully see that from each of you. And the biggest indication is homework, right? If you sit here and watch me and you're like, I already know how to do that, I'm not going to do the homework assignment, you've already made the first mistake when it comes to effort. Because even if you know how to do it, doing it yourself